Hello again, friends and loyal Wolfpack members. Chaos Wolf here with the Mighty Ducky, and welcome back to episode 4 of Zero to Hero, the series where we go from space crap-out pilot to hopefully one day God amongst the stars. Now, since we have basically gotten ourselves a good... let's have a look. We have gotten ourselves a fairly decent selection of, basically decent amount of credits. I think it is about time that we went and upgraded our ship from the Eagle. Now, I know we haven't been in this ship all that long, but this is Series 3 by now, and I didn't really do too much in Season 2. So I am trying to fast forward this series on as much as I can, at least until we hit the later levels. At least until we get to the next Imperial ship, which is the one we're aiming for at the moment, which is going to be the Imperial Courier. Now, right now, I have last episode, I did ask you guys whether or not you wanted me to go and get myself a Viper Mark IV, and the overwhelming majority of you guys said yes, go and get the Viper Mark IV, so that is what we're going to do. We have gone and moved system as well. We were over in the Hell system. Let's just go and find out where that was. So we were all the way over here. About 175 light years away. I nearly said 175,000 light years. But no, that is... we're not dealing in the thousands. That's on my main account where I'm going exploring. But where we are presently is the Preva system, which is controlled by Arisa Lavigny-Duval. And let's just have a quick look at where we are in basically to do with power play. And we don't want Lavigny-Duval, we want Arisa Duval. So here we are. This is the power play bundle, well, basically where we are in power play. I know a lot of you guys don't really care about power play, but a lot of you also do. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to start taking part in power play. So that's great, but like I said, at the moment we're going to go and have a look for a new ship. And after checking online, I did find out that the station I'm in does not have the ship we want, but the Alano system next door does, and it is also what is it? Let's see, it is a high-tech system. So we're going to go over there and go and get ourselves our new ship. So let's go and select the system that we've already got plotted, and let's get the hell out of here and go and get our new ship. So we'll get up, we'll start going. Listen to the Eagle sounds for the last few times and go and get ourselves our new ship. Now, one of the things I really am looking forward to is a much better power distributor, so we can boost a lot more often. We're finally out of mass lock, so let's jump to Witch Space and get to the Alano system. Okay, so we're now in the Alano system. We're heading over to Lisma Port, which is the largest dock in the system. Let's just have a quick look. As we're coming in, we should be okay. Yeah, we have 2 outposts, but this is the only main port in the system, so that is where we're going right now. From what I understand, this system should from what I understand and what I have checked on EDDB, this port should have what we're looking for, and hopefully it'll have pretty much everything we need to outfit the ship after. So we're going to line up on the approach, and for those of you who are not aware of this little trick, we're going to try and come in, basically dropping in to the outpost, well not the outpost, to the Coriolis, trying to face the basically the entrance to the port. So what we want to do is we want to come in between the orbiting planet, and basically the station where we're going to come and drop out. And we want to have it so that we're nearly there. There we go, we're pretty much got it lined up. The planet is directly behind us and the port is directly in front of us. So let's drop out of Super Cruise. And, well, it was good enough. We can see the entrance, so that is apparently the best way of getting into the... basically dropping in so that you're facing the front of the station. It doesn't always work in my experience, but 9 times out of 10 it'll at least get you roughly in the first 25%. Basically, in the starting quarter of the outpost. So let's go on, get ourselves put down. I know I keep calling it an outpost, it's not, it's a station. But, so sue me, I'm dyslexic. I keep forgetting words all the time. It's really strange. I will forget the words right after using them.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Actually, I did not want to do that straight away. What I want to do is enter hangar whilst we are looking at the bulletin boards and stuff. So let's have a quick look here. Let's see if there are any interesting missions here. It's all Federation stuff, so we're not really interested here at all. It does seem to be a Federation system. So let's have a look in the shipyard. It has got 12 ships, so that is a good sign. And there it is, the Viper Mark IV. Now it is a bit of a downgrade over our ship in basically stat-wise in many respects. At least as it is, because this is a stock ship that we're looking at here. We have got a fully A-rated Eagle. The main thing is it is much better armour, and it has a very good standard jump range. So what we're going to go and do is, before we go and buy that ship, we need to go and sell all our hardpoints and all our modules off our current ship. Now there is a reason why I'm doing this. The reason I'm doing this is if we sell these to the outfitting department, we do not lose any money on each of these transactions. But if we were to sell our ship with all this stuff attached to the ship, we would lose a grand total of 10% off of everything, not just the ship. So we would lose 10% of all the modules that we put in as well, and we don't want that. So it does look as well as though we cannot actually get any alloys, at least for this ship, in this system. So that's interesting. Let's just go and basically E-rate everything again. I know I could make things even lower, but I don't trust that. I have a sneaking suspicion we would end up losing money that way as well. I'm not certain, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So as soon as I've done this, I will see you in a moment. Okay, so that is everything sold off our ships. Now we can come back out, go into the shipyard, and we can go and pick ourselves up a brand new, shiny, new Viper Mark IV. So yes, we're going to be losing, well basically we're not going to be losing much. We're actually selling our ship for 81,500 credits. So we're not losing much. And here we are, just look at this. So let's go back into the starport services. We'll go back into outfitting as soon as... There we go. Now we're back into the outfitting, and what we want to go and do is we want to go and sell these fixed pulse lasers because they are absolute garbage. We do not want these. Especially in our medium mounts. No, what we want in the medium mount is we want a pair of multi-cannons. We have one already, so we can definitely buy that one back. Now hopefully this station does sell Class 2 gimbaled multi-cannons. We'll find out. Set this to class descending. Here we go. Perfect. Another Class 2 gimbaled multi-cannon. And what we want now are some beam lasers. Here we go. We can afford these ones right off the bat now. So that is very nice. We are now going for the best small lasers that money can buy. Apart from them being fixed, obviously. I do actually like to use my gimbaled weapons way more than my fixed. If I'm doing PvP, I will go for fixed rather than gimbaled. We can also buy back our D-rated kill warrant scanner. But now, we do also have a second utility mount. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go and try and find a chaff launcher. There we go. Now, that may be big, ugly and bulky, but it really does... it really is very, very useful, especially on smaller ships such as this. So let's go into the internals. We're very, very close to our maximum power usage. So let's go and get ourselves a Class B power plant. I've already looked at how I want to fit this ship out beforehand. And it is that we want to have a Class B to begin with the amount of money that we've got. Now thrusters, we're going to go and want to put them up to C rated at least for now. Like I said, it's just because we have a limit to how much money we can spend right now. Now life support, we always go for Class D, or at least I do, you don't have to. And for power distributor, we are going for the best. This is actually going up one class better than the previous power distributor on the Eagle, because the Eagle only had a Class 2. Yes, it was both rating A, but class basically shows the size of it rather than the quality. So this is going to be around about 50% larger, or even twice as large, so we're going to be able to get a lot more bang for our buck, especially in our weapons. Sensors, again, we're going to go for D3 because I never bother with much more than that unless I specifically have the power to run them. And what we're going to do is we're going to swap the... No, not sell, I want to swap the shield generator up here because we did as stock have a Class 3 shield generator and I've moved it into a Class 4 housing, which means we can go and buy ourselves a much better shield. Now, what I'm thinking of doing is getting ourselves a bi-weave shield generator. And here we are. Class 4C bi-weave shield generator. So we're going to go and try that out because we have the money for it. And they're not that expensive, to be perfectly honest. So we're going to go for that. And what we want to see if we can find is a Class B4 shield cell bank. Okay, so we'll buy that one as well. Next thing we want is a cargo rack. We've already got one in there. Next, in the Class 2, we're going to want the fuel scoop. If we can find one. Class 2A fuel scoop, yes please. Thank you very much. Well, this is an absolutely awesome system for what we want. I'm going to buy back the planetary vehicle hangar that we had previously. And then we're going to go put our SRV back in again. And down here we've got the basic discovery scanner. I'm really not bothered about that, so what I want is a frameshift drive interdictor. Do we have a better frameshift drive interdictor? No, we had the 1D we had previously, but it seems the best we can get is a Class 1B. Okay, so we'll go for that one for now. It is much better than the one we had previously, and it'll certainly do the job. Now, let's get back over here and let's go and change some odds and ends here. We're going to put an EGX decal up front because I really do like seeing that one up front and centre. And on both sides, I am going to put our Combat Novice. Now, look at this. We've actually got Explorer Scout, which is the first time Ducky has ever had an Explorer title, I do think. It does seem that Explorer titles are a little bit more easy to get since Horizons was released. I could be wrong, but I am pretty sure that's correct. Actually, no, I do not like how that looks, so I'll swap that down one. Looks like I'm going to have to deal with it. I don't really like these black little pillar stands. I do prefer it when they actually sit straight on the dashboard. But it looks like that's about all we're going to manage to have it. So let's try one more. Yeah, it's just even worse. Why couldn't they have him standing on this little thing here? That'd look so much better. Sorry, this is my complete OCD kicking in right now. I really have to have these things looking nice. Well, this is obviously the best we're going to get, so I'll just have to deal with it. And the last thing we want to do is to go and put our Black Friday skin on here. Now that looks awesome. Now, I'm really not sure what to call this ship, although I do have a vague idea. If I could have painted this ship yellow, I would have loved that. because it was kept with the Commander Ducky theme, and we could have called this ship the Negaduck. Basically, Negaduck is the arch nemesis to Darkwing Duck, and he often wears yellow as well, so that is quite funny. But maybe we'll have to save that name for the next ship that we can actually paint yellow. What I'm thinking of naming this one is the Millennium Duck, basically after the Millennium Falcon in a way. Because it kind of does have a little bit of a Millennium Falcon look to it, so I think that's what we're going to do. It's going to be the Millennium Duck. Okay, so that's it for the... well, basically for the outfitting. Now what we need to do is we need to go and sort out my power priorities, set out my modules and my fire groups. So fire group 1 is going to be my multi-cannons and frameshift drive interdictor. Now kill warrant scanner is going to be on fire group 2, and you may notice that I also have the frameshift drive interdictor on both of these fire groups. Now there is a reason for this, and that is because I don't see the point of mucking around with extra fire groups when I don't need them. I mean, you will see some commanders on YouTube flying around with their frameshift drive interdictor on a separate dedicated fire group, and that is really just not necessary, and it is just a waste of a fire group. Now, frameshift drive interdictors only work when you are in Super Cruise. They do not work when you are when you're outside of Super Cruise in real space. So having them on the same fire groups, even if you've got multi-cannons and kill warrant scanners, they are not going to work when these ones are going to work. So when you're in real space and you're firing your multi-cannons, your frameshift drive interdictor is not going to be going off. And when you're in Super Cruise, your multi-cannons and your kill warrant scanners are not going to go off, so only your frameshift drive interdictor will work. So it's just a much more efficient way of doing things. Now, at the moment, I am going to go and quickly just put my power priorities to how I usually like them. What I like to do is keep all the weapons on priority group 2. There we go. Cargo hatch, I can set that to... oops, no, that's supposed to be to group 3. Life support stays on group 1. Kill warrant scanner can go to group 2. Fuel scoop can go to group 3. Interdictor can also go to group 3. Sensors, frameshift drive stays on group 1. Chaff launcher and cockpit can be. Okay. Now, there is a reason why I have my power priority set up the way I do. Anything that is power priority 1 is basically what's needed when things have gone wrong and we need to get the hell out of town. Power priority 2 is everything that we need for combat, and power priority 3 is basically everything that's non-combat, not necessary for combat, and we don't need once our weapons are pulled out. So we don't need the vehicle hangar, we don't need the frameshift drive interdictor, we don't need the cargo hatch, and so on. I mean, maybe we could set the cargo hatch to priority 2, at least for now, until we need it, because maybe we'll come across some cargo whilst we are fighting, and maybe we want to go and pick it up. So yeah, let's go and leave that as 2. So pretty much as soon as I pull my weapons out, power priority group 3 will shut down. We'll be able to attack without any problems, and if our power plant gets taken down to below 50%, well, basically taken down to 0, we'll only have 50% power output. We'll still have our power priority 1, basically allowing us to get the hell out of there if things really go wrong. So we're pretty much fully covered now. So what we want to do now is we want to go and have a look over at the navigation panel, because what we're going to go and do is we're going to go and choose ourselves our power play power. Now, there are 10 of these to choose from, but I already know which one we're going to go and choose. We are going to go for Arisa Lavigny-Duval. She is the power we aligned ourselves with last time, and she is the one we're going to go with this time as well, because I do like the Imperial Hammer, and she does offer some fairly nice bonuses. Now, to find out what kind of bonuses you get, you can have a look down here, and what this means is whatever rank you get in her power, you basically get a selection of bonuses. If you get to rank 2, which is fairly easy to attain, you mainly only need to kill 3 or 4 enemy faction ships, and then you can get this quite easily. What this gives you is bounties that are handed in to controlled or exploited systems will increase by 20%. So we will get a 20% boost to our bounty hunting vouchers. This bonus also increases to 30, 40 or 50% depending on her galactic standing. So basically, if we go back, this is the galactic standing. She's currently 4th in the list. So we get 20% if she's here, we get 30% here, 40% here, and 50% bonuses if she is here. So what we're going to go do is we're going to go and we are going to go and pledge to Arisa. So hello Arisa, we're back again. It's me! So now what we want to go and do is we want to go and find a system for bounty hunting. We've got our kill warrant scanner, we've got our bounty hunting ship. We need to go and find a system with some resource extraction sites, preferably. But I already did find one, now I just need to go and find it again. So please bear with me 1 minute. Okay, so here we are. This is the system I was looking at previously. It is yet another high-tech system, so that is very, very nice. And if I do remember, let's just double check. Yep, it is. No, it's actually just outside of Arisa space. So let's go back. Here we go, and let's go and have a look into this system. So here we are. We do have a nice. There we go. We do have a very nice high-tech Empire Coriolis station right here. We've also got a couple of outposts, and we've also got a couple of worlds, a couple of icy worlds. Yep, they all seem to be icy worlds apart from these two here. We've got high metal content, and a bunch of icy worlds, all with planet bases on there. And we are in a small ship, so we can go and land anywhere the hell we want. But I am curious about this gas giant here, because it does have metal-rich rings and icy rings as well, and I am hoping that there are going to be resource extraction sites here. And I don't see why not. We do have some refinery stations around, so I don't see any reason why there shouldn't be any resource extraction sites here. But let's go and find out. Oop, wrong button. But let's go, jump over and find out what the hell is over there. Oh, just list those engines. Yeah, this definitely is more of a beast than the Darkwing was. Oh, and it handles so much better as well. It may not be as fast. In fact, it's around about 70 meters per second slower in the boost, but it is still a very nippy little ship. We're now already out of mass locks. Let's jump out, jump over, and let's go and see what we have in store for us over in the next couple of systems. Okay, so we're now going to be making our last jump over into our target system. And we're going to go and see if we do have some resource extraction sites. I certainly hope so, because I don't want to have to go around looking for more. Well, here we are, and there is our target planet, the gas giant with high metal content rings. Now, at present, we will not be able to see whether or not it does in fact have any resource extraction sites. I do believe we have to get within 1000 light seconds in order to see that. And there we go, we just got within inside 1000 light seconds, and we do have one resource extraction site. So that is going to be very interesting. So we're going to go and target that one. We'll throttle down a little bit because we are getting very close. And there doesn't seem to be a great amount more in this system. So we'll go and check this resource extraction site out. We're going to go and see if we get any, if many, well, many if any, I should say, Empire bounties here, because that's what we want. I'm not entirely certain what what alignment the local area is. Let's go and have a look. Local systems. We do have a bunch of Empire factions here, so hopefully that is going to give us some Empire bounties. That'll be very nice. At the moment, we're not worried about getting any bounties specifically for the bonus for Arisa Lavigny-Duval because we don't have any rank with her as yet. We're just an entry level rank, and we won't be able to tick over until the end of this current power play cycle, which will be every Thursday. Just look at the glow off these rings. Let's slow down a little bit and let's hop out into the debug cam. Holy Christ. Just look at how bright that is. Bearing in mind we are in a completely jet black fighter craft here. It makes us almost look white. Wow. That does look nice. Just look at that. But anyway, let's jump back out. Where the hell are we going? There it is. We've still got a ways off until we actually get there. But I never expected this planet to be quite so bright. I am not using any graphic enhancement mods. I know Obsidian Ant likes to use like EDFX or whatever the one he's currently using, reshades or something, I don't know. I don't like to use these. I like to play the game completely stock. But let's get down into this res site. And straight off the bat, we have some signals. We have a Robert Dugan in an adder. Now I have a feeling he's not going to be wanted. Yeah, I didn't think so. He's most likely running escort for another mining craft. We'll have to wait until we get a bit closer to have a look at those. There we go. We have a Sidewinder here. This one's most likely going to be in the same wing as well. Bobby Jump. Yep, he is. So I'm not concerned about those at all. But we do seem to have a signal over here. Oh, that's him there. He's definitely a miner. A miner and Downback Scout. You're not going to be able to fit too much in that ship, my mate. Alrighty. Whoop. Let's avoid his mining laser. It's not going to do any damage to us, but I don't want to risk making him wanted. So, I'm just going to go and fly around until I find something to shoot at. Oh, we have found our first wanted ship, and naturally it is a Master Python. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. So, let's get a scan on him. Hopefully we're going to have some system security forces to come and give us a hand. There we go. Well, at least we've got somebody here. So let's go and take this guy out. We'll open up with our twin beam lasers to try and take his shields down. Now let's go and target onto his... where is it? Power plants. You know, I really don't care if you have hatch breakers. Yep, it's avoided because we don't have any cargo. And it is taking a while to get this guy's shields down, so he really must have some really hardcore shields on that ship. Let's let our weapons charge up a little bit more, so then we can at least get a good beam off onto it. There we go. Now we can go to town on his hull. Oh, we do seem to have lost his power plant. There we go. Got it again.
Warning, incoming hatch break limpet.
We seem to have lost our little ally in this. So we better finish this off fairly quickly. Deploying chaff. And let's hit one of our shield cell banks. We're going to have to only use our multi-cannons for the moment. So in that case, we can put all power into engines to give ourselves some better manoeuvrability. There we go. We've got some friends again. Or maybe some more pirates. I don't quite know. Let's open the gap up a little bit between us and this Python. There we go. We can now get our guns to bear on him. Let's take those shields down again. We do not want those up. We don't want him using a shield cell bank at all. There we go. Let's put all pips back into systems now. Actually, I think we're going to need to put a couple of pips into weapons at least, so we can keep both of our multi-cannons firing. So let's throw out the chaff once again. There we go. Now we can get our weapons back on him. Let's throw out another shield cell bank.
Taking heat damage.
I'm not a fan of using these in combat so much because they do raise our heat now. But let's just get this guy down as fast as possible. There we go. We have him. And that was a nice 150,000 credit bounty. And now we do seem to have a lot more. A lot more targets on our radar. I have a feeling this guy's wanted. Yes, he is, but he is in a wing as well. So this is going to make things a little bit more interesting. So let's get within range and start taking this guy out as well.
Target shields offline.
Now we have to be mindful of where our shots are going, so we do not want to hit the security forces. There we go, that's that guy down. There's one of the security forces. That'll be another security force. And that's going to be a miner. Is this guy definitely going to be a security force? I am not certain. Let's go and find out. He might not be. No, he is a security force. Now, I do see some combat in the distance there. Hopefully we're going to be able to get there before the combat is over. It is over 6 kilometers away. And this guy still seems to be in a wing. Whether or not this is just a little bit of a bug is another issue. But let's start scanning and taking down his shields at the same time. Now, I did realise that I did actually forget to scan the previous target, but we're not making that mistake this time. We don't want it blue on blue, so we're going to stop firing whilst that security force is in our line of fire. Let's see if we can focus this guy down and finish him off with our lasers. Oh, and we have a little bit more combat over here. Let's hope it's something a little bigger. Oh, we have another Viper Mark IV. And he is wanted. He is in a wing. So, again, let's scan him and take his shields down. Now, this is going to be a little bit more challenging. So let's dump some chaff.
Target shields offline.
We have completed our scan, so we can swap over to our multi-cannons, and let's try and get this guy down quickly.
Warning, taking heat damage.
Oh no, we've lost our shields.
Under attack.
I think it's time to get the hell out of Dodge. I am not going to stick around, especially when we have a Fer-de-Lance on our ass. So I'm going to dump chaff and get the hell out of here. It does appear that the Fer-de-Lance has stopped chasing us, but the Viper Mark IV still seems to be after us, but we are a good way away.
Target shields
So let's just
online.
wait until our shields charge up. It shouldn't be too much longer because these are bio-weaves. And when he's by himself, I'm not as worried. So let's just get those shields down whilst we are deploying our chaff, flying reverse, and getting our shields up. So let's throw up
Taking heat damage.
another shield cell bank. And let's launch chaff once again.
Taking heat damage. Target shields offline.
Now I do think we have got the upper hand right now. We just need to be careful with our heat. Come back here, you. I'm not letting you get away. So let's keep ourselves in the sweet zone. Turn flight assist off, and let's get ourselves turned around on him. And there he goes. Now we can go and focus on this Fer-de-Lance, because he is busy with some other ships, it would seem. So let's get this guy scanned. Oh shit, I did not mean to go and do that. Oh well, he's spotted us now. Chaff out. And let's try and get his shields down. Now let's just quickly check. We have one shield cell bank
Module
left.
malfunction.
Let's try and use flight assist to get around on him. And keep pecking at those shields. Now I am going to be targeting at his power plant again. I know I am happy for you to do that, but I think it is a little bit cheap. So let's just go and let you get free, because I'm nice like that. Come on, we just need to get his shields down. Come on.
Target shields offline.
There we go. But as soon as we get his shields down, it looks like his armour really isn't all that much. Now if we can get his hull down, we should be able to get a nice little bounty out of this. No, 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 don't turn on us. We don't want that. Come on, we've nearly got him. We've nearly got him. Come on. So let's turn flight assist off to increase our turning speed. Now we just got to get him back in our sights. And we've got him.
Target destroyed.
Wow, 206,000 credits just for that one.
Frameshift charge
That is
detected.
very, very nice. Now, I think that's about as much of my luck as I'm prepared to push right now. So let's get the hell out of here. And go and get ourselves to the local station. We'll go and cash in and see if we can get any more upgrades to this little beauty of a ship. There we go. So let's go get ourselves into the hangar and have a look at how well we did over in that resource extraction site after refueling, repairing and reloading. I mean, we didn't need to spend any money on reloading because we do have the option to go and make some small caliber munitions. We have enough materials for it, but I'm really wanting to see if I can gather enough materials to go and make the premium reload, where we get 30% extra damage on our weapons. So I'm not going to be using that anytime soon. But let's go into the contacts. Here we go. We made 466,000 credits, so that is really not bad at all. And we've even got nearly 9,000 down here from a data package that I forgot to get. So that is very, very nice. Anything else while I'm at it? No, nothing at all. So how much money do we have right now? We have about 2.6 million. So we can quite happily go into the outfitting department and see if there's anything else we can go and upgrade on this ship. Now, I would like to go and upgrade the frameshift drive because I did realise that I forgot to do that earlier. So let's go into class descending. And I can quite happily afford the best frameshift drive, which gives us a jump range of just under 20 light years. So that is going to make getting around in this little beast a hell of a lot easier. If we are going to be doing any long range jumping, I am also tempted to swap around these two modules here, get ourselves a smaller cargo rack and a larger fuel scoop. I think that might actually be beneficial to us. I'm really not sure as yet, but I don't plan to leave the system just yet. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But I'm pretty sure we can go and put some better shields on if we want, but I'm going to wait until I can afford the A-rated shields, because I'm not going to worry about them just yet, because these bi-weaves, they're doing well enough. So what I want to go and check now is how well we are doing with the Empire. We seem to have a 5% neutral reputation with the Empire. What we need to do is we need to get that up, because over the course of the clearing the spaceways of hell community goal, we did manage to get ourselves a lot of rep with the Federation, but that's not what we want. What we want is more rep with the Empire. And now we are here in an Imperial system. What we're going to go and do is we're going to go have a look in bulletin boards, and we're going to be trying to basically up our reputation with the Empire. Ooh, we do seem to have a few nice little missions over here. We've got one for an assassination mission, piracy mission, and a transport mission. This would be a nice one to go for because this is a high effect on reputation. But I'm not going to be doing this one just yet because it is time to call the end of the episode. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If so, please do hit those like and subscribe buttons because they really do help my channel out. And remember, Commanders, I've been Commander Chaos Wolf, you've been epic, I will see you soon. And until then, keep flying and stay shiny.